whenever a Negro can't relate to you on your level, they always try to bring you down to their level. Unfortunately, many of these Afro American Negroes live in the sewer. And because they live in the sewer, they're always trying to fling mud at anyone who stands higher than they are. And I recently ran into an encounter like this in the comments section of my definition of a sellout video. Now, this black woman dropped a comment saying that, why don't I talk about my wife and kids? And it would be a shame if a guy like me was gay. Now, I listened to that comment and it takes me back to when I was 12 years old in junior high school. When I was in junior high school, I would run into these Negroes and these Hispanics from these single mother households who would always try to segue into shaming language by asking questions like, do you have a girlfriend? Do you like girls? And, questions like that. And in these questions is a paradox, and this paradox is a trap. What is a paradox trap? It's where this insecure individual tries to use their questions as a way to bait you into answering them, and then they go into their shaming language, and in that shaming language, every answer you give is going to be wrong. If you say you like girls, you will be a pervert. If you say you don't like girls, you're gay. So you can't win in either situation. And when I saw this lady dropping that kind of comment, I went back and said to myself, this is a paradox trap. Now I asked the question, what does this have to do anything? And then we get another, attempt to segue into the shaming language, another attempt to go into it. And in it, she says, she serves the Lord, and it would be a shame again if I was gay. And I saw where that was going, and I deleted the comments, and I decided, you know what, it's time for me to move on. And the reason why I decided to move on was because this was ridiculous. Now, what does my sexuality have to do with the definition of a sellout? I can't figure it out. But what I can figure out is that someone felt very insecure about the definition I presented, so they decided they were going to deflect by taking the conversation into the gutter. And because they couldn't take the conversation because they wanted to take the conversation in the gutters again, because they're uncomfortable with the idea of who I am. What I represent to them is a black man who does not fit the narrative for whatever they experienced, does not fit the stereotypes for what they experienced, and that makes them uncomfortable about seeing my image. And because they are uncomfortable about seeing my image, they have to resort to dropping petty comments like this in the hopes of bringing me down to their level. Well, you're not going to bring me down to your level. Here's the deal. I deal with people on my level and my terms. I deal with men on that level, and I deal with women on that level. And I am a heterosexual black man. I love black women, but I understand that many of these Negro women live in the sewer, and that's one of the reasons why I am single right now. The other reason why I am single right now is because I'm working on myself. Right now, I am trying to get my stuff together, trying to build this SJS Direct imprint, and I'm trying to find full-time work. And the reason why I'm trying to do this is because, when you're unemployed, you don't have anything together, and you should not be bringing people into your life. At this point right now, with me being out of work, I have no business getting involved with a female, getting involved with anyone right now. What I need to be doing is focusing on myself, focusing on getting myself together, and putting myself in a place where I can bring in a helpmeet and a support to help me work and continue to build what I'm working on right now, this SJS Direct imprint, and any other business ventures or employment that I want to pursue. That's what I'm trying to do right now. As a man, that's what most men do. When they're out of work, as long as I have been since 2008, that's what you do. You try to focus on yourself, focus on your goals, focus on getting yourself together so that you can be in a position to do something in the future whenever it's time to bring someone else in. Right now, I am not ready for a relationship. Right now, I'm not ready to even date someone. I'm not even ready to consider someone. I haven't been ready to consider someone, since I came out of college, because the job market that I run into is extremely unstable. And just as you get a foothold on one job, you wind up having to leave it. or you wind up, like with my AmeriCorps position in 2000, the position ends and people tell you that they don't have anything for you because the organization is in chaos, or you wind up getting fired. This is what has happened to me, and because everything is so unstable, I wind up, having to put things off, put things, hold things back, like the publication of many of my titles. I had to hold off on that for many years. I had manuscripts sitting in boxes because of my unstable employment, and I was forced, to hold things back until I had money together. And when I finally got money together in 2009, I began to start, self-publishing more the remaining manuscripts in my titles, and then later on after that, I started producing titles on the regular. The SJS Direct Imprint isn't where, I really want it to be, where the titles, make out their profits yet. And I'm still working to get to that point. And that takes time. And this is something, that takes most of my time. I spend most of my time these days, at your library looking for work and, trying to promote these titles on social media. That's the bulk of most of my time. I spend about 5, 6, 7 hours a day, in between writing, blogging, making videos, and promoting books. I work basically a 45, 50-hour week just for myself so I can get things together. And what man, wouldn't do that? Because that's what a man has to do. He has to go out and, try to find a way to make a living for himself before he can bring other people in. And part of that quest is making these videos. One of the reasons why I make these videos is so people can get to know me, get to know my mission, get to know my brand, and, understand, who I am and what my work represents. And the way I look at it, my work is a reflection of me, and, that's why I come out here and put on a shirt and tie and, look professional, because I want people to know how polished and professional I am and how polished and professional my books are. I want people to see, that I am, about taking things to that next level, expressing that, presenting that positive image, not only in my literature, but in my own personal image. That's, again, why I dress up for these videos and, put on a shirt and tie, because I want people to take me seriously. I want them to see my work seriously, and I want them to, to see that my content is just as intelligent as, I am. I want them to see that what I produce is a reflection of me. And, when people try to take me into the sewer, I now understand how to deal with them. And they think that they're going to try to take me into the sewer with arguments and stuff, like many of these other people out here, but that's not going to work. I understand what you're trying to do. I understand the tactics, and I understand how to counter the tactics now. No one is going to take me into the sewer because, again, I deal with people on my level, and I deal with them on my terms, and if you can't deal with me on my level and my terms, then I have no time for you. That's just simply how it is regarding me, regarding this SJS Direct Imprint, and regarding the videos that I produce. I do things on a higher level, I do things on a more intelligent level, and if you want to engage me, again, you have to engage me on my level. If you cannot engage me on a level of intelligence where you can discuss content on the merits of the arguments, then you have no position here. Again, this is not junior high school, and I do not deal with junior high school shenanigans. I deal with people who are serious about things. I deal with people who really want to, be about being positive. I deal with people who are serious about things. And even in my personal relationships, I only deal with people, again, on my level, in my terms, and I deal with people who want to do what I want to do. If you're not about positivity, then you're not going to be with me. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.